I'm Dᴏ宜''ᴜn. Welcome to or back to the channel. For those of you who do not know or did not know, I play Dead by Daylight and I like to draw characters because it's just a fun, silly little horror game that we all like to make fun of most of the time, especially right now with this chapter. The trailer itself, the teaser trailer, was such a banger. I thought we were gonna get like the freaking cyborgs from Doctor Who that want to reprogram everybody. Big scary robot killer, right? No, we get Wish.com sexualized Terminator, right? It threw us all for a big loop. DBD pun intended. So today I am going to attempt to create my own Skull Merchant killer. We are going to base it on her lore. That kind of gives me a little bit more to work with. So to summarize her story to the best of my understanding, manga villain and gaslight gatekeep girl boss vibes, while also trying to keep it on the horror genre spectrum of a character. So, got my work cut out for me. So, I lied, and I completely disregarded her lore for the most part, going through this whole process. But I wound up redesigning this killer based off of a couple of key components, which her lore does kind of tie into, whatever. But the first and most important change that I needed to explore was her mask, because it was just so poorly done, in my opinion. It's a gas mask with bedazzled stuff on it, and that's supposed to make her a millionaire, I guess, but I just started there with just her mask, and I explored the idea that, you know, her name is the Skull Merchant, and that she doesn't have any skulls on her, like the skulls are only on the drones. Why stop there, you know? And you'll kind of see it throughout the time lapse that I didn't really have the idea to just have her wearing all of these bones until closer to the end of the process. But there was one thing that really drove it to completion, and that was her chase music. For some god-awful reason, I immediately heard the Tiki Room entrance theme. Not when you're like already watching the show, but there's this drum music that plays when you're walking in. I don't know why her chase music sounds like that to me, but that pushed me towards this like tribal merchant lady who's also super high tech. And that was the thought that finally brought it all together. But before I even had that thought, I was just kind of mixing and matching those original points that I pulled out of her lore from what I could understand of it, like the girl boss vibe, the manga villain, and all of that good stuff. Eventually, I just ditched her lore altogether and went crazy on just her name, the Skull Merchant. And that was when it actually stopped being so freaking difficult. I really think that the writers, whoever wrote her lore, kind of just kept writing in a circle, and that's like why it was so underwhelming when it came out. Sometimes that happens, and you gotta dumb it down for yourself so that you can get a solid design that actually makes sense. That's literally what I had to do in order to get something that I actually liked. And let me tell you, when I finally got around to the end result of this redesign, I was so happy with it, followed by being so disappointed that it's not what we actually got. Because if we had gotten this version, I'm trying not to sound like biased, but if she had just been covered in bones, I think I would have liked her a lot more, because I had this thought in my head of this killer being covered in like bone accessories, and you can just hear the bones rattling wherever she goes, so like you can kind of hear her moving around. It just would have been so cool. And that really was just my number one complaint, was that her name didn't match her vibe. So in the end, I wound up redesigning her in a way that does match the vibe. She's covered in bones, she's got a skull mask, she still has, the drones were designed very well, so she still has the exact same kind of drone and tech and all that stuff. It's just everything else that needed some reworking. But there she is. She bad. That's what we came up with. As always, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, don't go yet. Please subscribe if you were also just a little bit disappointed in this chapter. That's my hook. I don't even care if you turn on notifications. I do not care. It's super chill here. I hate filming outros. I will be the first to say it. I hate them. I hate filming outros. But I hope you liked this video. So, bye bye.